American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. Never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, it's amazing America. Oh, yeah.
Today on the Sgt Frank Show, it is sponsored by the Outdoor Crusaders, a affiliate of Adopt-A-Cop USA. And on the phone today, we have Savanna, who is up in South Carolina having the time of her life with her father, her hero, and hunt master, Dad. And also on the phone today, we have the Bird Dog. Say hello, Bird Dog.
Hello, Bird Dog.
And say hello, Savannah.
Hi.
So, Savannah, you're up in the great northwest quadrant of South Carolina. What's the temperature?
Yes.
No, you guys have been hunting for months up there, right?
My dad has been. I just had a break from school where I'm on holiday break, so I've had the opportunity to come up here and hunt with him on his hunting lease. And I've been here for about let's see, I got here. What's today?
Are you counting
Friday?
on your fingers?
I think it's Saturday.
Saturday.
Mm-hmm. It's Saturday.
I've been here for 6 days, or like more like 5.5, because we only got an evening hunt on Monday. And when we first got here, like the first 3 days, it was cold. Like my feet were frozen in my boots because I didn't have the right boots here. Like they didn't have the right insulation. So when Jake came up, he came in the middle of the hunting trip. He came and brought me better boots. But it hasn't been as cold.
Who's Jake?
It's a small turkey, I think. It's a little turkey.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's a baby turkey. You're dating a baby turkey?
No, I'm dating a person that is human.
What is that person's name?
Jake.
Yeah, the turkey.
Yeah.
Have you ever called him a turkey?
I mean, I should. Maybe that'd be a good new nickname for him.
No, then he'll be mad at us. We're just teasing.
Yeah, we're troublemakers. Don't let us get you in trouble. Well, that's really sweet of him to bring you some better boots, because when your feet get cold, let me tell you something. When I'm hunting and my feet get cold, I'm done. I'm ready to get out.
It's miserable.
Right.
So what was the temperature, do you know?
For the first 3 days, it was like the 30s, and one morning it was all the way down to 22. Like it was like 22 all throughout the night, and then when we got in the tree stands, it was 26, and it was cold.
That's
and the past couple of days, it hasn't been as bad. It's only been like in the 50s, some 40s, and then like later in the day towards the afternoon, it was like 60 today, which wasn't that bad at all.
Man, that sounds beautiful.
So your first day, you go out early in the morning, and you're sitting. Are you in a blind? Are you in a tree stand? What are you hunting in?
Well, the first day we got here for an afternoon hunt. So we went and sat in like a chute box, I guess you could say. It was like a blind on the ground, but it's like a wooden box with like 3 window cutouts on it. And I sat in it with my dad for the first day we were here, and we did an evening hunt, like an afternoon, like until sunset.
Right.
Did you see anything that night?
Yeah, that's when I killed my first doe.
Oh, the first day?
Yeah, the first day we were here, I killed my first deer.
Wow.
And how the shoot shack was set up is I have a cotton field to the left of me. My dad's on my right, and then in front of us is this trail, and that's where the deer is supposed to be crossing.
Now, is there one of those deer crossing signs right there, so you know where the deer are crossing?
It just looks like a good area.
I seen that on the highway. Is that how that works?
Did it say Savannah, sit here?
I wish, but no. But it was getting like kind of towards later, and my dad was like, just like, oh, like dang, I hope we see something. And the sun sets around like, it gets dark at like 6 here, so probably around like 4:30, like it's still daylight, like 4:35. 4 doe came into the cotton field, And my dad said my eyes got real big, and like how the blind was, he couldn't really see. So I turned around because I had to adjust myself to turn to the left because I'm facing straight forward. And I put the biggest doe in my in the side of my scope, and all I could see in the cotton field, the cotton's so high, all I could see is the like her neck and her head coming up and down from eating. And the third time she came up, I took the shot. And when my dad saw where I shot, he was like, "That's very far." Like he thought it was like 250-yard shot.
Wow.
So we went and we looked for it, and we didn't see any blood, and it was just like, okay, like I guess you missed. And I was like, okay. Like we walked through the cotton field, we looked,
Yeah,
and it
did the
just
deer react at all like it got hit when you shot it, or did you close your eyeballs?
honestly, when I shot it, I like blinked and I saw two deer. I saw two deer run into the woods. That's to the right of them. And I look at my dad and he says, "There goes the third deer." He said, "I just saw a third deer run." And I was like, "Okay." So when we went looking, there's no blood. And he's like, "You just must have missed." Because it's a very far shot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that night was the coldest night it was. That's when it was in the 20s. And we went and we did our early morning hunt where we wake up at like 4 in the morning,
Oh my gosh.
get out there get in the stands by like 5, even though it's not daylight till 7, but you have to get out there early because that's what they say you have to do.
Did you not
So
like
we,
that part?
She loves
no,
getting up early.
I
Obviously, you can
don't like
tell.
the morning. But so yeah, we did our morning hunt till about 9, and then we decided to come back to camp because where we were hunting, there is the land behind camp, and that's where we hunted for the evening hunt. And Joe's like, like let's put corn out there again, in case we hunt it again. And when we went, we found my deer.
Wait a minute. Wait, whoa. So you're putting the corn out to do
We're
the
putting
next hunt, and you found the deer. How'd you find the deer? You're just walking through that field?
Well, okay, we were like putting the corn out, and we were driving the side by side,
Mm-hmm.
like to put the corn out, and then we were driving like to come back to the cabin along the field,
Right.
and my doe was sitting right on the edge of the field, and obviously that's not where it dropped
Right.
because we walked the cotton field, and what must have happened was, you know, I didn't make a kill shot, unfortunately, and she was still alive, and she must have, hid out in the cotton field while we were looking and we didn't see her, and then tried crawling probably back to the woods and died right on the edge of the cotton field.
Well, I have to tell you, what's really great about your story is the fact that sometimes, and it happens, you shoot, the deer moves, or you move, or something happens, and the best thing you could have done was not to look for that deer because of that shot, and the deer expired. If you'd have went and tried to find that deer and you spooked it, you probably never would have found it. But the fact that you guys thought that you missed and you backed out is the reason that you found that deer. So you really did a great choice, even though it was by accident, and you recovered a deer that you obviously, sometimes it happens. I mean, everybody's been hunting any bit of time knows that sometimes, things just happen for whatever reason, whether the deer moves or we don't make a best shot or whatever. It's cold. You're probably shaking too. Plus, every time I shoot at a deer, I'm so excited. Every time I shoot a deer, it's like the very first time I've shot a deer, and I get just as excited as I did the first time I shot a deer.
I'm the same way every time I hit a deer with my Suburban.
Yes, every time he hits a deer with the Suburban, he gets very excited, I'll have to say. Oh my gosh.
So what kind of gun are you using?
A 308.
A 308. Nice. Have you been practicing with that gun?
Well, that's like my first hunting rifle I've ever had, and my first animal I ever killed with it was a pig on Sgt Frank's lease in Mayo, Florida.
I was just going to
And
ask you if that was the same 308.
yeah, and the thing is, I haven't shot that gun since I killed that pig.
Wow.
That was a year ago.
My favorite part about you shooting that pig was somebody made you drag it like 600 feet, 600 yards through the woods. I don't know who that was, but that was very entertaining.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It
So
definitely
at
was.
least it was cold out, so that deer sitting out there for an extra few hours wasn't that bad of a deal.
Yeah, it was like not like it was frozen, but it was like the meat was still good. Like the meat was still able to be salvaged.
Oh, cool. You tasted it right there and made sure it was good?
Yeah, I checked the expiration date on it.
Nice. It said good for Savannah until next Friday.
Well, that's very exciting. So you were really pumped up when you shot that deer.
Yeah, it was like I felt all the emotions. I felt super excited. Like I saw them, I made my shot. I felt super disappointed because I thought, I missed. And then I felt disbelief when we found it the next day. I was like, there's no way this is my deer. And they're like, listen, there's no one else hunting here.
Right.
They're like, this is your deer. And I was like, no, that's not my deer. And they're like, Savannah, that's your deer. You aimed for the neck, correct? And I'm like, yeah. And that's where the shot was. So I was just like, I don't know. I just went on a roller coaster of emotions just for my first deer.
Well, I think that's really great. And congratulations on your very first deer. No matter what the circumstances are, that's a great feeling. I can tell you, I can remember my first year with my dad, and it was one of my best memories I think I ever had of me and my father bonding out in the wild. So that was, I'm sure that your dad, so your dad was with you when you shot that deer. He was with you when you found the deer, and now tell me, there was another deer story in this show.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to hear a little bit more before we go to that story, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
So you had to clean it?
Yeah, this is really my first time skinning a deer. Like I've seen them do it before, but I've never really had to be like the one taking action. So they like walked me through it, like like how they did it was they did half the deer and they had me do the other half and just like pretty much like teaching me as I go. And which was really cool was my dad gave me um his dad's buckskinning knife. So my grandpa's buckskinning knife. And I've had this knife now for 2 years, just sitting in my hunting bag, like hoping I get a deer so I can use it to clean my first deer. And he's about to make the first cut in the deer, and I'm like, "No, Dad, wait!" And he's like, "Why? What's wrong?" I was like, "Listen, I have to get Grandpa's knife because, like,
Aw.
it was important to me." And you just like his face, you could tell he was like, just like
Oh,
I don't know, like his face lit up, like yeah, like you're right.
that is so, so great to have a legacy like that and to be sharing it with your dad. I mean, and then when you get married and you have a child and you guys do that, I hope that you have that same knife that you can do the same thing with your child and pass that legacy down the line. That's so beautiful. What a great tribute to your grandfather.
Yeah.
So,
That's who taught my dad how to hunt.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
all right, so I guess now we can get on. So that morning before you found the deer, y'all didn't see any. Did you sit the whole morning, or you were just up and about putting out corn?
No, we sat the whole morning till I want to say maybe about 9:30, 10.
Okay.
And then we came back here and we put corn out, and that's when we found my doe.
Okay, so you went back out that evening, that afternoon?
We're hunting in two different areas here. We have the lease, which is about 30 minutes away, and then where our hunting camp is, there's property here. And I was given permission by the property owner to go hunting here because I've never killed a deer, and he was like, try to get your first deer. Since
Oh,
we
that's
already here instead of driving 30 minutes, that's why we did an evening hunt here. So when we came
gotcha.
back to hunting camp, we drove through the cotton field to put out more corn, and that's when we found her.
That's so awesome. So awesome. Well, congratulations on your very first doe. And there's a more to the story, I believe.
Yeah. So, what was it? Not yesterday. Yeah. Okay. Yesterday morning, me and Jake went out for a later morning hunt. It's been raining all day yesterday, and the rain like let up around like 8 o'clock ish. So, Mr. Joe, that's another guy on the lease that's here with my dad and I, and he's like, why don't you and Jake go for like a later morning hunt? So we start walking out on the same area I killed the doe. We're going to the shoot shack, and we're walking, and we walk up on 2 deer that are like down this like trail, and I pull up my scope. My scope has rainwater all in it. I can't zoom in. It's all blurry. I'm trying to clean my scope. I'm trying to zoom in, and I'm just taking too long. I don't even have, you know, a round in the chamber yet because I wait to do that until I'm in the shoot shack,
Right.
and the deer run off. So I'm just like, great. Like, are we even going to see anything for the rest of the day? So me and Jake sit till about 10 o'clock. And I texted them and I'm like, hey, do you think we should sit till 10:30 or 11, or should we just come in now? Because it's been raining. They're like, no, just sit till 11, see what happens. So 10:30 rolls around and a deer walks out right in front of the shoot box, probably about 150 yards like in front of us, and it's like hiding behind a bush. And I look at Jake and I go, there's a deer. And then I pulled it up on my scope and I'm looking at it and I see that it's a buck. And
Wait, how did you know it was a buck?
because I saw its antlers.
Oh,
And I
okay.
saw the antlers, I thought it was only a 4-point. And Jake's like, no, Savannah, that's an 8-point. Shoot. And as soon as he said shoot, I felt like very rushed. So I shot, and he was facing straight, straight towards us. And I don't know, I didn't feel very confident in my shot just because I know I had the sights on it right where I needed it, but I just felt like it was a rough shot. And I shot and I was like, okay. And I was like, did you see which way it ran? And he's like, no. And I was like, me either. And I was like, I must have missed. And I was like already doubting myself. And he's like, no, Savannah, like, don't say that. And he's already talking about, oh, we're going to mount it and this and that. And I'm like, you don't even know if I hit it. And he's like, okay, well, let me call your dad. And he calls my dad, and my dad doesn't answer. So then he calls Mr. Joe. And Mr. Joe's like, okay, just wait. So we're waiting, we're waiting for them to come. And you can tell he's just anxious. He's anxious. He's like, okay, come on, let's just go look. And I was like, no, let's just wait. And he's like, no, let's go look. And he was like, well, Savannah, it's raining. If there's a blood trail, this rain's just washing it away. So I was like, okay, you're right. So we start walking, down the trail, and all of a sudden I see the big brown like back of the deer. And I start jumping up and down. I'm so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I shot it. And he gave me a big hug and he's like, great job. Like, don't doubt yourself. And I was just like so happy, But like, of course, when I'm walking up to it, I'm holding my rifle and like I have it like pointing straight forward in case, if the deer wasn't, completely dead
Right.
and it jumped up or anything like that, because even with bucks, like especially here, they were saying stories about very big bucks, you might just injure it, and when you walk up, they come charging at you,
Right.
and they could do a lot of damage. Even, you just think, oh, they're just a deer, but no, they could still be very dangerous animals.
So let me ask you, if you would have been by yourself and you would have realized that was a buck that you could shoot, would you have waited a little bit longer and for the deer to turn broadside before you shot?
To be honest with you, I don't really know, just because the deer don't really stick around. It's like you see them, and then they're there for a little bit. They're walking. They're not sitting. This buck was not eating was not like eating. Like here in South Carolina, you're allowed to lay out corn.
Mm-hmm.
Like wherever you're hunting, so you're
Right.
allowed to bait the deer. And he wasn't eating the corn, and he was just like, I think he was really just walking through. So I only had that little bit of time to shoot it, to like make out what it was, and then shoot. Like I was happy. I was really happy Jake was there because I hunt with him a lot, and it was
Right.
cool, for
Well, it
him to
sounds
be
like he
there.
was really supportive, telling you made a good shot. Don't doubt yourself. I like that about him.
Yeah, that was like, I felt crummy, and then he like made me feel more positive about it. And you have to be positive. You can't just automatically doubt yourself.
Well, I can tell you, you're a great shot. I've seen your shooting skills, and I know you're a great shot. So the only reason I was bringing up about the deer being broadside is for some of our newer hunters out there, and when they have the chance to shoot a deer, if they can and they have the time, let's say the deer is relaxed and they're in the field, browsing or whatever they're eating, and you can, wait a little bit and then make that broadside shot, that sometimes that will help in the recovery of the animal. So obviously somebody of your shooting caliber, pun intended, you can make those kind of shots because it sounds like the deer was facing you, right?
Yeah, he was head on. He was like behind a bush too.
Wow.
So
That's an amazing shot. So good job on that.
yeah,
And so so as far as tracking, the deer was laying right there.
yeah, there was no tracking involved. He dropped dead right where I shot him.
So the reason y'all didn't see him run off is because he was hiding right there.
Yeah,
He was
that's
what we
they
call
said.
DRT.
That's what my dad said.
Dead
Down right there. Wow, that was in stereo.
Yeah, it was. Except for we said different words.
I said down and you said
Dead.
dead. He said dead and I said down.
Dead.
Down right there. They both words work. Just saying.
I agree.
So, did you use the same knife to skin your very first buck?
Yeah, I did.
Did somebody sharpen it over the night?
Yeah, my dad had to sharpen it. It's funny that you asked. Yeah.
So what kind of mount are you going to do? Did you skin it for a shoulder mount, or are you just doing, what are you doing
I'm
there?
just gonna do a European mount.
A European on your first buck?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I really like those mounts the best.
Do you?
Yeah, mainly because a lot of people are kind of not resilient like we are when we were kids as far as hunting. And some people kind of get freaked out with the whole fur and eyeballs and all that. And I just think it's a classic looking mount, just that white bone. I think it's really cool.
Well, my dad asked me, he's like, "Do you want to get it mounted?" And it's a very nice deer for a first deer. Not a lot of people get, a deer like that as their first deer. And I don't know, I just figured how I see a deer being mounted is like that you mount like a trophy, you know?
Well, that is
Like
a
I think of,
trophy.
yeah, but I just think of like my dad's deer that's on his fireplace,
Right. Oh,
I
that's
don't know. Like I kept the tail, like I skinned the tail and I took the tailbone out of it and I'm salting it right now. So I'm gonna put that with my mount. But I don't know,
I
I
thought
think
you were going to eat it when you said you salted it.
She didn't salt and pepper it. She just salted it.
So you're excited then. That's awesome. 2 deers on your very first time to go deer hunting? That's pretty impressive.
well, this isn't my first time deer hunting.
Oh, it's just your
But
first 2 deers that you've actually taken yourself.
yeah.
Okay. That's good. Still pretty impressive. I mean, I've driven around here where I live for 3 years, and it took me 3 years to hit a deer with my car. So
Yeah, his technique's a little bit different. He doesn't sit in the cold. He doesn't put out corn. He gets in his car and he drives 70 miles an hour.
I'm just teasing. You know about my story with my brand new Suburban, right?
Yeah, my mom told me about it. She was saying how you can't catch a break.
Ah, man, I was so upset. It was 3 months old, a brand new Suburban, driving home from Tennessee. We went to the CMAs. So the weather was horrible. It was raining the whole way home, 9-hour drive. The traffic was horrible. Get 5 miles from my house and bang, I whack a deer with my brand new vehicle.
Well, the worst part was I was a passenger and there was nothing I could do because I'm pushing my foot as hard down as I can. Unfortunately, there's no pedals on my side of the car.
Did you see the video? Because I have a dash cam in my vehicle.
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't? I put it on Facebook.
She probably doesn't follow you. You're boring.
What?
I
thought
don't
was
have
like the
Facebook.
most popular guy in the world to her.
Now she's going to go look for it.
Now I'm going to send it to you because you said that.
Right.
But
Hey,
mine was
guys.
just a little doe.
Well, there was an. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're talking about Savannah's now.
Yes,
Come
let's talk about
on.
Savannah.
She's
Let's,
hunting the traditional way.
yes,
Well,
she's.
I'm really happy I got to share my story with you guys.
Well, you know what's really great is this isn't going to be the first or the last story we have with Savannah and her deer or turkey or hog or pheasant or frogs or
Gator.
gate. What we're going to do, our next episode with Savannah is going to actually be about her gator, her double gator hunt.
Yeah, I haven't done that video for you yet. It's still in the shoot to be done. Sorry about that.
I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, it's some of the video came out really well, except
I
for
filmed.
that Frank film. But the unfortunate thing is it's mostly black, because it was pitch dark
Which
out there.
I
and
filmed.
We didn't have any, which Frank filmed. Being out there in the complete darkness is kind of tough. But the light with the spotlight, it showed the kill and everything. I mean, it was great footage for that part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got the footage was excellent for that, but
I'm excited to see it.
yeah, I'll try to get that done as soon as I got so many in the shoot and it's hard and we run around all the time doing things. We were just in Chiefland, shopping with one of the deputies' families that was killed in line of duty. So what all have you killed real quick? Just like give us a rundown of everything that you've done like hunting wise.
Okay. So like you're saying, I've killed those 2 gators.
Mm-hmm.
I have a doe and a buck now. A boar hog. I was with my like boyfriend and his dad when they got a sow.
Okay.
They do what do you call it?
Dog hunting.
Yeah, dog hunting. And what they do is they catch the hog and then they let it go because they saw that she just got done having a litter of pigs, so they just let her go.
Oh, that was
And I guess you could say frogs. I go frogging a lot.
good. You go frogging in a lot? I
Yeah,
haven't done that in a
like
long time.
I think it's so much fun.
Yeah, now do you eat the legs?
Yeah, they taste
Okay.
good. You fry them.
Love
Now,
it.
who skins the frogs? You do?
Yeah, me and Jake do it together.
Wait a minute. So you've skinned frogs?
Yeah, you pull off their skin like a pair of pants.
She's a
Nice.
pro hunter.
Now, have you killed any other animals besides the frogs, deer, gators, and pigs?
No.
Been dove hunting or
Duck
No.
hunting?
duck hunting?
I told my dad what's on the list now.
Oh, you got a bucket list now. I love it.
Yes.
It's a kill list.
I really want to
Kill
go
list.
duck hunting. I think that'd be really cool.
Well, maybe we can ask the Robertsons if we can come hunt with them.
Yeah, I know they've been looking for us to come out and do a show with them. They're like, man, we've been seeing those shows that the Outdoor Crusaders do, and looks like the Bird Dog is really, on the game with editing and everything with the music. Probably would be really great for us to do a show with those
I got
guys.
the matching beard now.
Oh yeah, he fits right in.
All I got to do is wear like a bandana around my head. If I had long hair, it'd be perfect.
We could
Oh
do
my
that.
God.
We could do that. Maybe we can get him a wig.
Yeah, right.
That'd be. Oh, I got a great idea. Well, Savannah, we really appreciate you taking the time. I know you're probably starving to death because you've been hunting for like 80 hours in a row, and they're out there probably cooking some stuff for you right now.
Yeah, I think they're making steak tacos tonight.
What?
So
Steak tacos.
Oh my! I'm driving to South Carolina.
Yeah, I think we had beanie weenie last time we hunted with your dad. I don't know.
Yeah, he gives you steak and he gives us beanie wings.
Well, the majority of the animals she killed was with the Outdoor Crusaders. I'm just saying.
Yes, all except for these last 2 deer. Well, the frogs.
We gave her the good practice, I think. With the big boar hog and the gators. I mean, having her shoot her first doe and buck was just easy peasy. Now she had all that experience under her belt.
So what do you think was the most exciting hunt that you've been on so far in your long life?
Probably the gator hunt.
Oh, good answer. Who'd you do the gator hunt with?
Sergeant Frank.
And did it with you guys.
It was so much fun. We had a blast.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely exciting.
I hear some subliminal messages coming over the microphone.
All
Who's
right,
your favorite person to hunt with? Sergeant Frank.
The bird.
I can't say that.
My
I have
dad is
quite a
the
few
answer,
people.
obviously. My dad is the answer. You know
Yeah,
that.
you have to say your dad.
Oh yeah.
But I'm sure we run a close second.
Yeah.
We might even be third now that Jake's up there.
Oh, yeah. The
Dang.
Yeah.
Jake.
So why do we always get pushed down to third? Why?
Well, we're in the top 3, so I mean, that's pretty good. Well, we're really looking forward to you coming back out on another adventure with us. We'd like to take you down fishing in the Keys, and we also have spring turkey coming up as well.
Oh, we gotta get her on a turkey.
Oh, yeah. We do some incredible turkey video.
That'd be fun.
All righty.
Okay, guys. Well,
well, you-
it was great talking with y'all.
And tell us, why is it so important to, your dad obviously is a hunter, and why is it so important for our children to get out in the woods with their parents and do hunting and fishing and stuff like that to you?
Yeah, what does it mean to you?
Just to keep it alive. Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of kids, if like especially in a small town like this, I see there's really nothing to do. And if young people, like I'm only 19, and I feel like, maybe a 19-year-old girl around here, if she doesn't have something to go and do, like maybe go hunting with her dad, or even have a dad that cares enough to like want to take her hunting with him, she might get into some trouble. Or even like a 19-year-old boy, I feel like just hunting and being out in the outdoors is just very important, just to keep it alive, because it is, something that's dying out. And a lot of kids rather just stay inside and play the video game where they pretend to shoot a deer instead of really doing it in real life.
So, what can you tell us about hunting and fishing that's taught you accountability and responsibility?
Oh, you put her on the
Just like
spot there.
there's a set rules you need to follow when you're hunting. There's hunting ethics. Like, if I saw a spike come out, even though I've never killed a deer before, I'm not going to kill a spike. You want it to grow and actually become like a deer to be proud of.
Well, I think it's really great that once you shot the deer, you took the responsibility to clean it, and all those things, and skin it and all that. And you guys obviously eat the animal as well. You're not just trophy hunters, you're actually providing food and sustenance for your family.
Yeah. You don't just kill to kill. You have a purpose.
Make sure when
Like,
you're providing that food for your family that you don't forget about your third family.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, Savannah, thank you very much for sharing your experience, and we're looking forward to hearing more of your outdoor adventures on our Outdoor Crusaders program, our podcast. And for all our listeners and fans out there that support hunting, fishing, and family, please follow us on our YouTube channel, Adopt a Cop USA official site, and also on our Facebook page, Adopt a Cop USA official site. And if you look, you also see the Outdoor Crusaders, Sgt Frank's Bird Dog Posse, and all the other things that we listen to as well, and broadcasts, and on our website, myaacusa.org. Please like and share. Get all your friends and family involved, because it's not just about hunting. It's not just about policing. It's about bringing the United, or putting the United back in the United States. So again, Savannah, congratulations on your very first doe, your very first buck, and your boyfriend, Jake.
The turkey.
And tell your dad we'll be calling him when we have 3 or 4 hours to talk to him.
all right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Take care. Be safe.
Signal 33 shooting 100 block East MLK, 100 block East MLK. All units 1051. Getting an update, we have a 10-year-old male lying on the ground with a gunshot wound, unknown exactly where. Unable to verify the breathing. Delta 14, 1048.
Listen, young one, it's not cool to be a thug. There is nothing good about going selling drugs. The money don't mean nothing when you're harming everyone. And you can get killed bringing pain to your mom. Take a legal substance and you can OT. Overdose from nasty chemicals in the street.